If the Chelsea squad had any uncertainty about what to expect from Antonio Conte before his official unveiling, the sight of him screaming "I will kill you, I will kill you" at his Italy players will have given them a good idea. The Italians were 1-0 up in their opening match at Euro 2016 against Belgium, but a chance gifted to Romelu Lukaku caused Conte to erupt. It is said the manager asks his players to eat grass before every game. This was an impassioned display of his methods. Similar to Conte, beneath the veneer of Jurgen Klopp's genial persona is a tireless taskmaster. The physical exertion involved in gegenpressing is not for the faint-hearted. Klopp demands that no tackle should be shirked, no second ball uncontested. High-intensity game plans such as those favored by Conte and Klopp require enormous collective effort. It would therefore appear that Chelsea and Liverpool possess a significant edge in the Premier League this season. A lack of European football affords more time for recovery and preparation, and finding the marginal gains that can ultimately prove decisive. "This is an advantage, an unbelievable advantage," said Jose Mourinho when his Chelsea side fought Liverpool for the title in 2013-14. The manner in which the Reds eviscerated Arsenal with 4 goals in the first 20 minutes of a 5-1 victory in February reinforced his argument. By that stage of the campaign, Liverpool had already played 8 fewer matches than their opponents. There is a notion that Chelsea and Liverpool will have been sitting with their feet up this week as their rivals competed around the continent, but the real advantage is in the extra work they are able to do on the training ground. Playing one match every 7 days means that players can train at high intensity at least once in the week. This allows them to develop physical characteristics such as strength, speed and power, and become more rounded athletes, says Chris Rush, strength and conditioning coach at Blackburn Rovers. Playing twice a week, players can maintain general fitness levels, but the more specific physical characteristics cannot be worked on as they simply play, recover, play, recover. The benefits were apparent last season as Leicester had time to prepare physically for the long haul while Tottenham's midweek exertions in the Europa League continued until mid-March. Playing 10 more matches than the Foxes over the course of the full campaign, Mauricio Pochettino's side looked exhausted in the run-in. Leicester, on the other hand, were able to focus on avoiding injury and accumulative fatigue, cruising to a 10-point cushion at the top. In 2013-14, Mourinho announced that Liverpool are on holidays for one season, but the reality is that clubs often exploit any extra time during the week to work on conditioning. A strenuous preseason, usually revealing which players have enjoyed their summer holidays the most, lays the groundwork for the campaign ahead. Players become what they do on a consistent basis, says Rush, noting that a whole preseason is required to fully condition a squad to a certain level of physical output. If the players are physically capable to play a high-intensity style, your training is high-intensity, and every game is high-intensity, then players adapt to this demand. The lack of midweek matches also enables Chelsea and Liverpool to focus more on individual needs. Some players require a longer recovery period after matches or a tailored program to prevent injury. These considerations are much easier to accommodate in single game weeks. Individual fitness work is a must. Creating injury durability, strength development, or increased speed is achieved with different conditioning practices, Rush explains. A player's fitness, age, injury history, and work rate during the game can all affect recovery time. Research suggests that within 72 hours after competition a player should have recovered the majority of their physical markers, but some can achieve this within 24 hours and others may need up to 4 or 5 days. Integrating additional fitness work is aided by the squad's reduced exposure to injury risk. A player is much more likely to suffer an injury in a match than on the training pitch, so it is reasonable to infer that teams playing fewer fixtures generally have a greater chance of avoiding setbacks. For clubs competing in Europe, increased travel is another headache. The longest journeys Chelsea and Liverpool can expect to face this season are potential cup ties away to Carlisle and Plymouth. Manchester United, meanwhile, will endure a 4,000-mile round trip when they visit Zorya Luhansk in the Europa League. Arduous travel such as this demands meticulous preparation by the club's fitness coaches and sports science team. Jet lag, dehydration and blood pooling are all concerns that must be accounted for to ensure the United squad recovers efficiently for the visit of Tottenham 3 days after they play in Ukraine. The real test for United will come in late October, when our home tie against Fenerbahce on Thursday 17th is sandwiched by trips to Liverpool on the preceding Monday and Chelsea on Sunday. Those 3 games in 7 days could serve to highlight the advantages afforded to Conte and Klopp, which Mourinho is certain to mention. While Conte and Klopp will also make the most of the additional training time to impart tactical instructions, it is the physical advantage that is of greater consequence in a title race that could turn into a battle of the fittest. The role of conditioning will become even more significant as a long season drags on. If there is a player who plays 1 game a week all season, and another who plays 2 games a week, the guy who plays 1 game should, if no injuries occur, be fitter at the end of the season than he is at the start because he has been able to do physical development sessions on a consistent basis, says Rush. 2 game weeks mean that these development sessions cannot be performed and any previous games will be reversed. That is the challenge facing Arsenal, Tottenham, Leicester City, Manchester City and Manchester United as they remain preoccupied with playing and recovery until December at the earliest. And while that quartet are embroiled in busy schedules, Chelsea and Liverpool will continue developing their fitness. The signs may not be obvious on Friday night, but come the end of the season there is a chance it will prove a telling factor. Conte and Klopp have been given a silent head start by the absence of European football. Should they be leading the way in the final weeks of the campaign, you can expect their rivals to shout about it.